No! It can't be. It's impossible. Where did he learn this move? Who taught him?
I've got you now. Resistance is useless, my friend. In no time at all, your energy will be mine.
Hey, Trunks! Any ideas on what this thing that Piccolo's fighting against might be?
Sorry, all we found was its shell. We couldn't tell what it was or where it came from.
Do you think it's possible that this one creature is causing us to sense the power levels of Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, and Frieza?
Yeah, I think so.
I was afraid you were going to say that. I hate to admit it, but it looks like we've got one heck of a fight on our hands.
Your father seems to be getting stronger every day.
He's okay, right, Mom?
Almost, Gohan. Goku?
Daddy?
We should let him rest.
But do you think he'll wake up soon, Mom?
Possibly.
Great! I'm gonna go tell the others the good news. Hey, everyone! My dad's waking up!
Once again, local units of the armed forces have been mobilized in response to the mass destruction which occurred in the West City suburb of Gingertown earlier today.
Whoa, crazy.
A spokesperson for the Army tells us that the situation is under control and that the crisis will be resolved very shortly.
What is going on?
This just in, we are now able to take you live to Gingertown, where our correspondent has arrived on the scene. Now to Gingertown. It seems we're having some technical difficulties. Now, to Gingertown.
I'm standing on the outskirts of Gingertown. Behind me, you can see the dust rising as a column of tanks makes its way into the heart of the city. The army has made no comment regarding its tactics, but we'll have all the details as they become available.
There! That's him! You! Up there! We have you surrounded! Make no attempt to resist! Surrender immediately! I repeat, surrender immediately! Or we will be required to use force!
What? Can the fool see I'm busy?
Open fire! Bingo! Commander, look! Hit him with everything you got, men!
Oh yes, how could I have forgotten?
Oh, call me.
What was that? Something wrong?
Something is happening to his power level. He seems to be losing energy.
You're talking about that fighter you said was as strong as 17?
I am.
It's like I said, what you're detecting is impossible. Your sensors are going to have to be recalibrated, and that's all there is to it. No one is as strong as I am.
You may have escaped for the moment, but I'm afraid that with only one heart, you won't be able to hold me off much longer. Face it, Piccolo. Time's up.
Yes, you're right. It's clear that I'm no match for you. I can't fight without my arm. I have no choice but to surrender.
So you have finally realized the futility of your efforts. But don't feel bad, Piccolo. You will soon be a part of something far, far greater than you can possibly realize.
What do you mean?
You will be absorbed into perfection.
All right, but before I submit to you, I ask that you honor my final request. Tell me, who are you? Why can I sense Goku's energy in you, and Frieza's, and Vegeta's?
Very well. Since you're literally dying to know, I suppose there's no harm in telling you. My name is Cell. I am an android.
You're an android?
I am the single greatest achievement of my creator, Dr. Gero.
As I should have known.
You see, in his efforts to create a supreme fighting organism, Dr. Gero devised a means by which he could fuse the cells of the world's greatest fighters into one, and then cultivate that cell into a singular invincible entity. Unfortunately for the good doctor, however, he soon realized that his project was far too complex to be completed during his lifetime. As such, he diverted his attention to more immediate pursuits, but only after he had programmed his computer to finish the enormous task which he had begun. The computer worked tirelessly to complete the fusion of cells that had been gathered from the mightiest warriors ever to walk the earth. Warriors such as the Saiyan Nappa, the young but powerful Gohan, and of course cells were gathered from you, Piccolo, so that your great strength and determination might also be harnessed for our purposes. Most notably, perhaps, the cells of Goku were incorporated into the design, as were those of the mighty Saiyan Prince Vegeta. Ultimately, the cells from these sources and others were formed into one, and although the traits of some were chosen by the computer to be more dominant than others in the final design, at least some element of each was retained.
Now I understand. You learned the Kamehameha wave when you inherited Goku's cells.
That's right. Goku's were not the last cells I would inherit, however. In a most fortunate turn of events, Frieza paid a brief visit to Earth, and although it seemed that he was mostly machine at the time, it was possible to extract a few of his remaining cells before he finally met his end at the hands of Trunks.
Dirty little Saiyan!
Trunks cells would have been collected, but Dr. Giro's computer had determined that there was already a sufficient collection of Saiyan powers within my makeup.
So tell me this, how did Dr. Gero get the cells? I don't recall seeing him or anyone suspicious around.
There is a simple explanation. By now you must have learned of Dr. Giro's tracking device.
Huh?
The tracking device is very small, insect-like, comparable to a common housefly. There, do you see it? It's watching us at this very moment, waiting for an opportunity to gather more cells.
Oh!
Quite remarkable, don't you agree? Excellent work, Piccolo. But once again, I'm afraid you've only managed to waste your efforts. The computer already has the cells it needs for my completion back at the lab.
You're wrong! We destroyed Dr. Gero's lab and all of his equipment!
Luckily, the computer was hidden in a bunker below the laboratory.
I see. It's not too late, you know. One of the others is bound to find that computer and destroy it.
Don't be absurd. The computer will work undisturbed for the next 24 years, at which time I'll be completed. Now then, let's put an end to all this chit-chat.
Just one more question. Why are you here? Why did you come to this time?
My, you are full of questions. Well, I suppose I'll answer this last one. It's quite simple, really. You see, I cannot realize my full power from the energy of humans alone. According to the computer, I am looking for a very specific source of energy. More to the point, I require the energy of androids 17 and 18.
What?
You see, the powers of Vegeta, Goku, Frieza, and so many others have already been incorporated into my being. But even these powers pale in comparison to the strength of the androids. It is this strength which I must possess for myself. Unfortunately, in the time from which I came, androids 17 and 18 no longer existed. They had somehow been destroyed by Trunks, and along with them my hopes for ever reaching my final perfect stage. Luckily, however, I discovered that Trunks possessed a time capsule which I decided to borrow for myself. Huh? I dispensed of young Trunks easily enough, but using the time machine itself proved to be a much more interesting challenge. As I mentioned before, in order to fit inside the time capsule, I was forced to regress to my larval state. That being accomplished, I activated the machine and was instantly transported to another time and place. A time in which I hoped I would find androids 17 and 18 alive and well, in which I would be able to realize the true potential of my power. Understandably, I could not begin my search while still in larval form. I had to wait until I'd regained my fighting shape, and so I burrowed into the ground where for the last 4 years I have been lying in wait, gestating, gathering my strength, growing into the superior being you see before you today.
But why did you choose this particular time?
I didn't. The coordinates were preset by Trunks. I merely pushed a button and the machine went where it was programmed to go.
Now it's starting to become clear. Trunks had set the coordinates to the present in order to tell us that he had destroyed the androids in the future, but instead, this creep hijacked it.
The computer told me one more thing. Once I have absorbed the other androids, I will be the most powerful being who has ever lived.
But what for? You were already the strongest creature alive in your time.
This is true, but my design was meant to include the powers of androids 17 and 18. Without them, I can never be complete. I had to seek them out. It's what I was created to do. Of course, it may also be the blood of Vegeta and Frieza coursing through my veins which fuels my desire for more power.
I see.
Now, are we done talking?
Yes, I'm ready. You've said more than enough. I just needed a little time.
You tricked me. I should have known you were up to something.
I will never allow you to be completed. You're going down, Cell. I intend to put an end to your diabolical schemes once and for all.
With Piccolo's power fully restored, the Super Namek is prepared to continue his epic battle against the most terrible evil ever to set foot upon the Earth. And it seems the valiant warrior is about to get some help. But even with fresh troops to aid him in his struggle, will Piccolo be able to stop the treacherous Cell? Or is the key to winning the ultimate battle still missing? Find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z!